as well as the
Okay.
WebDriver also. You can use the same files for RC and WebDriver.
Okay.
So did you practice using locators?
No, so I didn't get time actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, these things I think we have already seen, but let me check what are these. Creating test suites we have seen previously. What can you record? What cannot you record with Selenium IDE?
Okay.
Creating test suite, as anyways we have seen how to
Yeah.
add different test cases and
Into
creating
one.
it into a test into one single test case test suite.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I'm not sure I've informed you or not. This Thursday onwards I'll not be available. Actually, from Wednesday onwards I'll not be able to take class, which means day after tomorrow onwards till Saturday.
Till
Uh,
Saturday.
Sat- yeah, Saturday I'll be available.
Okay. Fine.
So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I'll not be there. Saturday onwards I'll be there.
Okay.
I'm just going out of station, so there we don't have internet, and my internet connection is not a mobile connection. Nearby also there is no internet
Okay.
at all.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So actually I got to finish up by 25th or this month end. I look at the possibilities. Once I come back, maybe on a weekend I can take a 2-3 hours stretch time.
Okay.
And normal days if I take 1.5 hour or so, then that will be easy.
Fine. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, creating test suites, we can just have n number of test cases available here, and when you say file and go to save test suites, in case if you have individually saved those test cases, it'll directly get saved as a test suite, whatever name you give. If you don't save all these test cases, if you have not saved any test cases that are in the test case pane, then it will ask to save the individual test cases first. At the
Okay.
end, it will get created as a test suite.
Got it. Yeah.
And in case you want to save, there are already some test cases which are saved on at different places of your system. You want to make all those test cases, one test case from one point, or like that. If you want to pick all those different test cases and you want to make a test suite, then what you'll do, you will add the test cases. Each test case you will add into this, then you will save it.
Okay.
Okay, individual test cases you will add. You can just say add test case. You can pick the test case from anywhere. Then you can save them as a test suite. Okay, that's about the test suite part. Then, okay, what the importance of test suites and all is given. Can run all the test cases in a test suite as a one continuous batch job. In Selenium IDE, test suite can be defined using a simple HTML file. Okay, we can also actually define the HTML file, but we will not go into that part. I've shown you how to use test cases. Similarly, we can also see how to make test cases using HTML. You would
Okay.
have seen it. If I take this and if I go to
Yeah.
the source part, you will see the HTML format of it.
HTML.
Similarly, when you save any test case as a test suite, or a number of test cases, when you save it as a test suite, that the entire test suite will also be appearing in the source part.
Okay. Does it
Okay.
appear like one code, or because it has different test cases?
Um, Actually, I didn't try it too much,
Okay.
but but you can make it as a single test, single HTML file by adding all the HTML code of different cases into one.
Yeah.
You can make it into one file.
Okay.
However, this type of usability is not preferred and is not used actually around. Okay, that's the test look. An HTML table defines a list of tests where each row defines the file system path to each test that we have seen. Test suite example, what you cannot record. This I've been stressing. Silverlight applications we cannot record. You cannot record Flash and Flex applications.
Yeah.
Flex-based applications you cannot record. So we will use Selenium WebDriver for it. That too, actually, Selenium WebDriver also cannot act directly on it. We have something called Sequely IDE, which is a free source. Okay, Sequely is also a tool, third-party tool. We can make a plugin of Sequely into Selenium through Eclipse, and then we can use it. That will use that can work on Flash and Flex based applications.
Okay.
Okay, and Selenium using Selenium we cannot do file downloads. That's not possible. Then this is a summary. What have we have done? How to download Selenium and what is Selenium IDE? What are the buttons inside recording and replaying test back? Context menu, commands in context menu. How to add comments. We have seen all these things, right? Working with Ajax. Working with Ajax, we will only use waiting statements so that it will come and stall till that point.
Okay.
Then debugging test suites, what cannot be tested using Selenium IDE. This is about Selenium IDE part. The main and important thing in Selenium IDE for us to carry forward is the locators part, which is the very important thing.
Yeah.
Because only by locating any element you will be able to work in any place. Okay, so once we are now, because we are done with Selenium IDE, I'll tell you what all files to be downloaded for Selenium RC and WebDriver. Okay, first thing that we will need is Java on our system. Java, which is JDK 1.6 or above. Okay, then we will need Eclipse IDE. Then we will need Selenium Server standalone file. Okay, this is the jar file. We will also need, these are whatever I will be doing, the other required jar files, compulsory jar files.
Okay.
I'll show you from where you have to download all those also. Don't worry.
So is this for RC now or WebDriver, these files?
All these we can use for WebDriver also.
WebDriver also, okay.
Yeah. Okay, these are the files. First thing we will need is JDK. Compulsory thing is JDK. I believe that you already have Java in your system. Can you just check?
I mean, which software are you talking about? I don't know where to
Java,
check it.
JDK. Okay, just go to program files, C drive program files.
Yeah.
You have Java folder in it.
Okay, the basic. Yeah.
You go to C drive,
Yeah.
program
I
files.
see
You will
that.
have
Yeah.
Java JDK. Do you have only JDK or only JRE?
JRE.
You only have JRE.
Yes.
Oh, you don't have JDK 1.6 or 1.7 anything?
No.
Then you will need it because without JDK it will not work.
So, I mean, can I just download it from
Yes.
online? Or? Okay.
Yeah, Java and all the related stuff.
Yeah, it's open source. So.
Yeah, about Selenium is always open source. Most 99% whatever you use with Selenium, which is related to Java, is always open source. So Java you can download from Oracle website. When you just say go to Google and let's say download Java. You can get from the first or the second, anyone. Java SC downloads or Java SC development kit. Here you will have Java. This is JDK 1.7. Here you can download JDK 1.7. When you click on that, it will take you to the next page. In this page, you have to select accept the license agreement and then see based on your system 32-bit or 64-bit configuration, you have to download. Okay, if it's 64-bit, then this one, 32-bit, this one, download any of these files. Okay, so that's about Java that you have to download. Next is Eclipse. Just go to eclipse.org. Copy and paste. Okay, go to eclipse.org. Here, go to downloads. Okay, you'll be able to see all these. You can either download Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers, or you can also download the Eclipse standard. This will be enough for us.
Okay.
You can also download this, anyone. Okay, this is the best one, I believe.
Okay.
That too based on 34-bit or 64-bit.
Fine.
Okay, the next one is, from the next one, we will go to seleniumhq.org. This is a Selenium official website from where we will download. We have downloaded the Selenium IDE, and similarly we will download the Selenium files. So the first one in Selenium file is Selenium Server Standalone. So here you will have it, Selenium Server, formerly RC Server. Just click on this, you get downloaded. Some 20 MB or 100 MB, I'm not sure.
Okay.
You'll get it. After that, you will have Selenium Java, Selenium-Java jar file. For downloading that, you have to come here. Okay, this is Selenium client and WebDriver language bindings.
Okay.
First one is Selenium server file. To work on Selenium, you will need Selenium server file, in which will contain all the libraries of regarding the Selenium. this is Selenium Java file. This is the Java language bindings, which is specific to Java language. So to use Selenium server through Java language, this is the jar file that you have to use. Just click on this Java, not this Java. Just click on this download link and you will get the Java file.
Okay.
Okay, then these two are from the Selenium website, seleniumhq.org, and downloads.
Fine.
Next, we have 3 more files. For downloading that, we have to go to the common repository, which is this. There is something called mvnrepository.com. I copy and do it. Okay. In mvrepository.com, you will find the jar files, the remaining jar files. Apart from Selenium server file, you will find the remaining files. Which one? JUnit. Just type JUnit and search for it. You will find the first link, JUnit. Inside that, you will have this binary one. You have to click on this binary. Then you will get the JUnit jar file.
Okay.
Okay. Then similarly testng. First link. Then here also binary file. Okay. And there's some lastly there's something called JXL. So JXL, just click on that. So whatever is the first on this in this is the latest version that has been released.
Okay.
So just click on this binary and you will get that file also. So that's how you will download all the files. Now we will look at what is the importance or what is the use of each of the files.
Okay.
Okay, because we will be using Selenium based on Java. Java is compulsory for us. And only when you have Java, Eclipse will work for us. Okay.
Yeah.
Then Selenium server file. Selenium server file in Selenium RC, we have already discussed that. Selenium RC, why people are not using, because Selenium RC is slow and it has less components or less features. In Selenium RC, one thing, in Selenium RC or WebDriver, the same Selenium server standalone file we will use. All the remaining files also the same files we will use, but working through the commands will be different. And the way we give the commands, the way we use them will be different.
Okay.
Now, when we use Selenium RC or remote control, we will have to first start the Selenium server file, which I have already told. Because Selenium server file is started separately, every command of Selenium RC will have to go to the Selenium server first. From there, it will go to the browser and it will get executed. So because of this intermission time between the Selenium RC and the Java language commands, whatever we will be giving from Eclipse, and that will be reaching the browser, because we are not directly sending, there is a gap of time.
Yeah.
As well, we have to separately open Selenium RC and use the commands to get onto that. So all this is like a hectic thing or a slow process. So in Selenium RC, we have to start Selenium server file. That's why people wanted a better opportunity or better chance of using Selenium, because of which WebDriver was developed. The WebDriver will directly work on the browser. It will not require Selenium RC to go through Selenium RC to reach the browser. It will use Selenium RC. It will use the Selenium server file. the same Selenium server file it will use for the library functions and its options.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need to separately start it. It will run in the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Then we have the Selenium Java jar file. Using this language library files, Java language library files, and Selenium Java's language bindings, we call them. We will use the Selenium Java file along with Selenium server file to make a sync for the functions we are using.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something called JUnit and TestNG. Any idea what JUnit and TestNG could be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, in case you would have learned about Java programming or development any time before, in industry, JUnit and TestNG are used actually for unit testing.
Okay.
Okay. Unit testing means
Yeah.
you learned wrong back. Unit testing is testing the code written by the programmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Each unit separately they will test. That's why it's unit testing.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it can be a single program or a program for the whole module, or a program for a single feature, that's a unit. When they test the unit, it's a unit testing. So JUnit and TestNG are actually unit testing frameworks. We call them framework. Why framework? Because when you work in real time, actually, you will need to have a reporting to be done. What are the test cases that you are taking? What are the reports that you are generating? To take the test cases, where are you getting the data from? Are you getting the data from Excel sheet? Are you getting the data from text file? You have to get the data from Excel file or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you getting that? So all these things have to be managed separately.
Okay.
So to manage all those things, there will be one common thing. That's the framework, testing framework. Okay, this framework is different from the actual framework that will be used for testing in companies. This is different.
Okay.
This is a already coded or predefined form of using features or using options while development or while testing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is that framework. We will use the options in this, and then we will work on the programs. Okay, JUnit and TestNG are unit testing frameworks, which we also use for Selenium testing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we have this JXL jar file. The JXL jar file is used for data-driven programs which will require Microsoft Excel. Okay, any Excel-related programs, if you want to use, then you have to use JXL.
Okay.
Which means, for example, if I have 100 user IDs and passwords which I want to get from my Excel sheet, and I want to work on any login page. So
Okay.
for writing the data-driven test and using the Excel sheet, I will need the JXL file. Okay.
Okay. And instead of Excel, if we have that information in database, how would that work?
We can retrieve the data from database.
Okay. Do we have another option for that? Or?
We have to use Java only basically for that, and preferably actually Selenium will not be used preferably for database testing.
Mm-hmm.
Because while we do database testing through Selenium, there is no Selenium that is used actually. All the thing that we use is Java.
Mm-hmm.
So Selenium is basically for the user interface testing. That's about the what all web things that we have on a web page.
Okay. Okay.
For that it is.
Got it.
Okay. And anyways, in companies, there will be separate teams for database system.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Okay. Now I will show you. First thing I will show you is how to use a JUnit file, JUnit program. Because based on JUnit, I will use in Selenium RC. For Selenium RC programs, I will use JUnit. For Selenium WebDriver programs, I will use TestNG. TestNG is the latest one, which will have more options to use the Selenium WebDriver.
Okay.
JUnit is an older version in which generating reports is also difficult. In TestNG, automatically reports will get generated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will just show you.
Is it in TestNG the reports are automatically generated?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
In JUnit also we can generate reports, but it's a 20-step process. That minimum of 15 steps process.
Okay.
And TestNG reports look even better when compared with JUnit, and they automatically get generated. But once you run the test case and when you refresh the project, they automatically get generated.
Okay.
So once you download Eclipse, it's not an installable file. Actually, you will get a folder like this. Okay, and Eclipse Kepler is the latest version that I have seen. You will get an
Which
installable
version is the latest one?
Eclipse Kepler.
Kepler. Okay.
Kepler, yeah. It will Eclipse always used to contain the either any of the what do you call scientists' names or any of the planets' names in Greek.
Mm-hmm.
The earlier version when compared with Kepler is Juno, Juno.
Okay.
Before that it was Galileo. Okay, Kepler is the latest version. You can have Kepler directly. When you download it, it will give you Kepler only.
Mm-hmm.
So it will not be an installable file separately. You will get a folder like this, and once you unzip the folder, inside that you will get the exe file. This is the exe file which you have to click and open. Eclipse.
Okay.
And the first time when you open it, you will not have anything. This page will not directly come up. You will get a welcome page in which it will ask for workspace. No. On the right hand side, you will have an option to go to the workspace. I believe work set or workspace. It will say. If you click on that, it will come. It will take you to this page, in which you will find a package explorer with everything blank.
Okay.
Okay. Then you will have to right click here and say new. In that you have to go to Java project and click on the Java project, and you have to give a name. Give a name, and when you say finish or next and then finish, a project will be created like this. Any project. Okay, a project will be created like this. Inside that project, okay, you don't have Java also, no? Okay, by tomorrow I think you can download and
Yeah.
okay. Okay, either you can right click and do it, or if you go to file, you will have new, and then go to Java project. Okay, then give a name. Once you have a Java project, it will give out you these two folders, SRC and JRE system library. These two folders it will give. Okay. And go to this SRC and right click on it and then say new and give and say package. Okay. Whatever programs we will write inside a package. So we will have to first create a project, and inside the source we have to create a package also. Okay. When you say package, a folder like this will come up. Okay, with this square box and bisecting lines. Okay, you will get a project like that. And after this, when you get all these things, when you get the SRC and JRE system library, and when you create a package inside, just create a package and let it like that. Then we will have we will have to configure all our files, whatever files we have, the jar files. We have to configure all these files. We will download all these files, right? We will download all these files and we have to put it in a separate folder.
Okay.
Because it will be easy for us to manage if it's in if all these files are in a single folder. Okay.
Yeah.
So we will go to this project, whatever project we have created. Right click on that. Just say build path. Here we will have inside build path we will have configure build path. Build path, configure build path. Then usually this will open, this tab will open inside. Otherwise, just click on this libraries tab, and you have to click on add external jars. Don't worry, I'll tell you again. Once you download all the files, I'll tell you all these things again. And select all those jar files, whatever you have downloaded. Just select all those and say open. Then all the files will appear here. Okay, then when you say OK, till that point of time you will not see this reference libraries folder.
Okay.
You will only have SRC and JRE system library. Once you add those files, you will get the reference libraries, and under this reference libraries, whatever you have added will appear.
And do we have to do this every time, or if you do it once, it's enough?
No, this is only one time setup.
Okay.
But this is specific to project. So if you create one more project in the same package explorer, for that project separately you have to do it.
Fine.
But once you create a project, inside it for any number of packages, you have to do it only once. Okay. So it is specific to one project, and for every project you have to do it once. Okay, fine. Okay, I forgot. You're not familiar with Java, right?
No.
Okay. I'll tell you the basics of Java then. Then through basics of Java, we will get into Selenium RC, and then we will go to Selenium WebDriver.
Okay.
So the first few, I will take you to Java. So let's look at the first program.
And this we can do in Eclipse only, right?
Actually, not compulsory. It's not compulsory that we have Eclipse. However, having Eclipse will make very much things easier for us. Otherwise, you will have to write in a notepad the Java code, whatever you take. You have to write in a notepad. Save that under JDK, whatever you download, and inside that folder you have to save. then again you have to compile it on the command prompt.
Okay.
Once you compile
Yeah,
it on the
got
command
it.
prompt, once you compile it on the command prompt, you will get a class file. Then you have to run the class file separately. So all the steps will be necessary. Usually in colleges and when you learn Java, that you will be doing. But we have sophisticated things, and in companies also people use Eclipse. So I don't think there is any necessity to write in notepads.
Okay.
Okay. So these files, whatever I've sent through the message chat, you got it right?
Yeah.
The file
Yeah.
names and
I've
set
I've
of
noted
files.
it also. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, just sent you. You would have just copy pasting also would have done. All right. Now the first thing that we will look at is Java. So why do we need Java? And this blah blah things you already know. I think it's platform independent.
Mm-hmm.
It's object oriented. Then it's like security is high with Java, and Java is the most used software around the world. Actually, and Selenium is most often used with Java. That's why we have to learn this.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't deny that we will use people use only Java with Selenium, not like that. But if you take 100 people, out of 100 people or 100 companies, 90 companies will use Selenium with Java. Other
Yeah.
10% companies only use Selenium with other languages.
Mm-hmm.
We have other languages, right? Which Selenium will
Yeah.
accept. PHP, Ruby, Python, all those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so most of the times you will use Java. So the first we will look at the basics. I think you already have at least the basic knowledge of this C and C++.
Yeah.
So if you have C++ knowledge, then Java will be very easy for you actually.
Okay.
In Java, everything is an object actually. So whatever you write, you have to write inside an object, inside a class.
Yeah.
So what is a class actually?
It has all similar kind of objects in one place.
Yeah, I'm asking just like the brief description what the class will look like. Okay, but otherwise, why do we have to create a class at all first thing?
So that all the objects, I mean, we can put or categorize into one class.
Correct. So, sorry, whatever real world objects, everything in this world is an object, right?
Yeah.
Persons are objects, things are objects. So, anything in this world that you see is an object.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, whatever you use, every object that you use will have its own attributes. So you want to categorize all the objects into one type. So all the related objects into one type. Then
Yeah.
you will use it. So in software also for Java we will use the same thing. You will categorize all the objects of similar type into one class. Then you will use that class repeatedly and create an object each time. So you will have okay. There are four this also you might already have a knowledge of it, but Java has 4 features of object orientation. We have encapsulation, we have abstraction, then we have inheritance, and the fourth one is polymorphism. Okay. So any basic idea what encapsulation, abstraction, all these things are?
Yeah, I mean, encapsulation is the calling program will not know what are the details. I mean, because I've studied this long back, but yeah.
Not a problem, not a problem. Just I'm asking how much.
Yeah, but I do know, yeah.
And abstraction. Okay, I'll just tell you what these things are. Encapsulation is the thing that one class will contain the data and functions in itself. It will encapsulate it. It will consider and it will take things into itself. Okay, you can bind. Encapsulation is nothing but data binding. You're binding the data and the methods of the class together. Okay. So when you are using the any variables as well as functions inside it, you already have encapsulation in it. They are encapsulated. So that's about encapsulation. Abstraction. Abstraction is nothing but you're hiding the data from which is available inside to the outside persons. Which means any other class or any other object which is not of my class cannot access the data from my class.
Okay.
Which means, for example, if you take a bank, inside a bank you have a manager, you have a clerk. Okay. When you make a software also, you will create 2 objects, 2 classes, one for clerk class, one for manager class. In manager class you will have more features and more methods, more variables. In clerk class you will have less because manager should have more access when compared with clerk. So clerk class cannot access, or clerk class's object cannot access the manager class because of its security. That's the abstraction. All the data in manager class will be hidden. Similarly, all the data inside clerk class will also be hidden. From outside you cannot access. From manager class you cannot access the clerk class. Similarly, you cannot access the clerk class from from the manager class from outside it, unless you create an object for that. So the creation of an object for the clerk class or the manager class will have access with the same persons. So unless those persons will be able to do it, nobody else can do it.
Okay.
That's how you will abstract, or you will hide the data. And from within the function, from within the objects also. One second, please. Okay, sorry for that.
No problem.
Hello.
Yeah.
So we were talking about abstraction. Abstraction is hiding the data from outside, which means unless you from inside also, unless you specify within the same Java file, unless you specify a variable or a method as public method or public method or public variable, it will not be able you will not be able to use it. If in the same Java file you have more than one class, you will not be able to access the other Java class within the Java file also unless you mention that is a public variable. So we have access specifiers which will mention that. We have something called private, public. Private can be used, can be accessed only by within the class. If it's public, you can use any other object also can be able to access.
Access. Yeah.
Okay. Then that's about abstraction. We look at when we do programs. This is only briefly that I am talking about these concepts. Just to take a good view of these concepts, you can go through, because this theory part I will not be teaching. We will only look at practical examples of working on these things.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So that's abstraction. Inheritance will be inheriting the properties of one class by the other class.
Yeah.
So it can inherit all the features, which means it can inherit all the variables as well as all the functions from all the functions from one class to the other class, for which we can create an object and use. Okay. Polymorphism is we have two types again in polymorphism, and actually two concepts which we will split again. One concept is overloading, and then second one is overwriting. In overloading we have again
operator. I remember vaguely.
Yes. Operator overloading and function overloading. Java doesn't support operator overloading.
Okay.
Function overloading it supports. What is overloading? First thing, using a method or an operator with the same, if it's overloading for functions, if you are creating more than one function with the same name, then that is function overloading.
Yeah.
Which means the same function name you are using for more than one function.
Yeah.
Operator overloading is using the same operator for multiple functions, multiple operations.
Yeah.
Which means the same plus operator if I am able to use for addition, multiplication also, then that is operator overloading, which is not supported in Java.
Okay.
Okay, function overloading is supported. Function overloading is using the one or more functions with the same name. So how does it differentiate? When you pass different parameters for the functions. Okay, overriding means you will use the same function name as well as the same number of parameters, or no parameters but the same function name, but one in the derived class, one in normal base class. Okay, we will look at small examples. What are the different data types that we have? I will just show you for now. Okay, in Java, for printing out, we can use system.out.println statement. Instead of when you use in C or C++ println,
Printf,
right? Yeah, printf, scanf. We don't have scanf here. For taking data from the keyboard will take a lot of things. Instead, we will actually read from Excel file or something like that. We will not directly input anything from keyboard for manipulating it. Okay, Java is a language which will usually take data from other sources, not from the keyboard. So we will use printing. We will use system.out.println. If you want to make a shortcut, or if you don't want to type all these things in Eclipse, you can just say sysout sysout and use your control and space bar simultaneously. When you use the control and space bar simultaneously, it will take the complete thing. Okay. Now, before coming to this point, once you create a Java project, inside you will go to src folder, and on that you will right click and you create a package. Inside the package also, you will just right click and say new and go to class. Just go to class and use it. When you click on the class, it asks for a name, and it asks different options. If it's a public class or a default class, which one it is. Then you can choose these things, whether you want public static void main in it or not. So if you're writing a normal Java program, tick this.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, public static void main. Just click this, and you will by default get this public class so and so, whatever name you give, and the package name whatever you have given, inside which you created the class, that package name you will get automatically, and you will get this public static void main. All this you don't need to type all this, but if you tick that checkbox. Okay. So once you create all these things, then inside that just write these things.
Yeah.
So system.out.println statement is for printing any statement. If you are printing any string, then you will need to enclose that string within double quotes.
Okay.
If it's a number that you want to print, you don't need to enclose it in double quotes. You don't have to. You should not actually. If you are enclosing, that means that is also a string, even though you're giving it as a number.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, what are the variables now? Different types of variables, or different types of different data types. We have integer data types, which can sustain, or which can take only 32-bit value, which means any value within 2 power 32.
Okay.
So more than that it will not take. Then I have to use long variable, long, L-O-N-G, long. So which will take 64-bit values. Okay, int and long. Then for floating point values we will have double. Okay, int, long and double. Double is for floating point values. You can also write integer values for double, but we usually use double for floating point values. So here I said I declared int I is equal to 100, and I printed that I. So I can assign variables with values, and I can print that variable. Then it will give me what the value that I assigned to the variable.
Yeah.
Then I have character variables also. Character will take only one single value, and that should be enclosed within single quote. When you assign things for characters, it should be enclosed within single quote. Yeah, single quote. For printing, you will give double quote. And going forward, we also have something called a string, which will take more than one characters. So for characters, you should give always within single quote. Okay.
Okay.
We have something called a Boolean value, which will take true or false only.
Yeah.
So for true or false, for storing true or false, we will, or for getting true or false values, we will use Boolean. Okay. And system.out.println statement can also take or can also judge by itself the calculation, and it can give out the true or false
Result.
value.
Yeah.
So if you just give system.out.println 2 less than 1, then it will give me false when I print it. Okay, and there is something called a string. String is actually not a data type in Java. It is a separate class written in Java. That's why this string is a keyword, but still it does not show in this color. This color means this is a system variable or system keyword. These are the classes written in Java. System, println, all these. String is also a class that is written in Java like that. Okay. So string s is equal to, when I say I should be enclosing that string within double quotes. Okay. So when I print it also, I should be printing it like that. Just say println system.out.println s, then it will print me the whole string. So that's about variables. If I want to use if condition, I have if condition like this. Simple if else. If some condition I'll enclose within a parenthesis, then I'll say system.out.println, then which one is greatest. I'm using here an example of x and y. Just printing the biggest value among x and y. So I'll say if x is greater than y, then print x is the greatest, and okay. Then I'm printing strings as well as variable value, which could be a number or any other string that I assign to a variable. Then I should use plus for concatenation. Okay, here I want to print x is greatest, and I want the number whichever is greatest, that number to appear here. The x value should appear at the end. So when I want it like that, I should give plus and then x. Plus will concatenate number as well as the string.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a concatenation, which means one after the other it will display. If you don't give plus, then it will show us compilation error. Okay, plus is used for concatenation. Then if and then else. Else system.out.println y is the greatest and plus y. Okay. I'm not sure about C++. I don't remember it because it's very long back that I studied. But for if and else, at every place you should have this flower braces, that within which you should enclose your statements about that condition.
Yeah.
Okay. That's about normal simple if else. If I want to use more than one if condition, here I have 3 variables, A1, B1, C1, out of which I want to look at which one is the greatest. So I gave if A1 greater than B1 and A1 greater than C1, then A1 is the greatest. Otherwise, which means A1 is not greater than B1 and A1 is not greater than C1. Which means B1 is the great. Which means both these statements are not true. When both these statements are not true, either B1 should be greater than A1 or C1 should be greater than A1, isn't it? And I say, which definitely means that A1 is the least one in this case. A1 is the least, isn't it?
Least, yeah.
So A1 is the least, which means there are only 2 remaining, which is B1 or C1. Then in that also I will say B1 is greater than C1. Then B1 will be the greatest.
Yeah.
Okay. If these 2 cases are not into picture, then obviously C1 is the greatest. So to use a multiple if else, I'll use it like this. If then one condition, else, if one more condition, else will be the default final condition for default.
Yeah.
Okay, this is how I use if and else, and this is how I use different integers or different data types in Java. Okay, all right, I'll stop it here for today, and tomorrow I'll take class tomorrow. If possible, I'll start a bit early.
Okay.
By 9, something like that, I'll start.
Fine.
And yeah, as I already told, from Wednesday till Saturday I'm not, Friday I'm not available, Saturday I will be available. So I'll inform you what time I'll take class on Saturday, which is your Friday. In case we enter into your Saturday also, which will be like something like evening for me, then also then it will be the normal time that we take the class. Okay.
Fine.
In case, or in case there is any change, I will inform you.
Sure.
So you were saying something?
Yeah. Can you send me the recorded sessions, because maybe for practice they'll be helpful for me. The sessions which you recorded.
That it was only one session that I recorded. I think the organizer will have the recorded session.
Okay.
I'll just ask him to send me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can ask him. Maybe the ones which you have, you can send me. I'll ask him the rest. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have only one session which I recorded. That's the second day of our sessions.
Yeah.
Resume sessions. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Thank you then. Bye bye.
Thank you.